Am I the ultimate villain for turning my coworker's promotion into a nightmare? My colleague, Mark, is trying to get a senior engineering role but doesn't know how to use the simulation software, so we made a deal. I'd run all his stress tests and provide the data if he'd cover my shift rotations for a month. I spent 20 hours running complex simulations that made his project look perfect, but then he forgot our deal and tried to leave early every time I was supposed to be off. I told him no more data until my schedule was fixed. Mark got toxic and told our supervisor I was gatekeeping critical project info. The supervisor called me in, but after I showed him that Mark hadn't even opened the software in 6 weeks, he just sent me back to my desk. 2 days later, Mark bragged that he'd hired a freelancer to do the simulations from now on. I asked about the hours he owed me, and he told me to be a team player because he's basically my boss now. That hit a nerve. If he's the boss, why am I the one who's been checking his physics, correcting his material choices, and saving his designs from collapsing? I told Mark, fine, I'm done. I didn't sabotage the freelancer, but I did stop simplifying the data. Now Mark is standing in a meeting trying to explain torsional vibration to the CEO, and he's completely lost. Good luck, boss. Am I the jerk for telling my instructor I'm done being the unofficial lab tech? My professor, Dr. Aris, is brilliant but has zero interest in the equipment, so we made a deal. I'd maintain the club's 3D printers and CNC machines if he gave me unlimited access for my engineering prototypes. I spent my weekends leveling beds and replacing nozzles, but when I went to print my final project, he'd let a group of seniors take over the machines for a non-academic hobby project. I told him no more maintenance until my project was finished and the schedule was cleared. Eris got defensive and told the department head I was obstructing student research. The department head called me, but after I showed the logs of me spending 40 hours of unpaid labor fixing machines that would otherwise be scrap metal, he just sighed and hung up. 2 days later, Eris bragged that he'd bought a self-repairing printer and didn't need my help anymore. I asked about the parts I'd paid for out of pocket, and he told me to consider it a donation to the school because I'm just a student. That was the spark. If I'm just a student, why am I the one who's been soldering their circuit boards, debugging their G-code, and keeping the lab from catching fire while he's at lunch? I told Eris, fine, I'm done. I didn't break the new machine, but I did take my custom firmware with me. Now they're wondering why the self-repairing printer is just making plastic spaghetti. Good luck with the donation.